What's up, you guys, and welcome back to another edition of Rob Sports Center. So we're gonna clap it up. Obviously, we shut out the Patriots today, 34-0. But what did I tell you guys? I said that either one or two things is gonna happen. I said that either Mac Jones is coming off a bad game against the Cowboys. So I said either he's gonna come out and have his best game of the season against us, ironically, or he's going to come out and have a continuation of what he did with the Cowboys, which was, in my pop's favorite words, quote unquote, stank it up. And he done that. And it's funny because one of my keys to the Saints victory, I said we were going to have to be able to score more than 9 points. And they came out and put up 34 points. This is the most points that we just scored all year. Now, here's the thing. Check this out, though. Now, if you a real football, if you have the knowledge for football, you understand that this is something for us to be happy about in a sense because we took steps forward, right? I believe we scored every red zone trip. We got into the red zone. We capitalized every time we got into the red zone. Defense, I never had any doubts about the defense. Like, that's one thing about it. Unless we have injuries or something of that magnitude, I never really worry about the defense. My biggest thing with the defense is the offense putting them in a lose-lose situation by them having to constantly keep running back on and off the field because we're not able to stay on the field or even get to, to even be able to score. You know what I mean? It's hard for us to even get how it's been this year. It's been hard for us to even get to the 50-yard line. You know what I mean? So defense, they done their thing. I see that, Pete Carmichael, I see they opened it up a little bit more. Now, one of the things I said too that we worked on and we did a good job at was allowing sacks. I see that we only allowed 2 sacks, and that's magnificent considering that what was one of my things that I said in the video before my last one about it was that we're not giving Derek Carr necessarily the best opportunity to be successful because we're not blocking for him. But as Dion said in one of the Colorado games, you seen the run game showed his face today. You know what I mean? Like we dominated them in time of possession. We had the ball for total 39 minutes, in 30 or 39 minutes in 34 seconds, and they had the ball for 20 minutes and 26 seconds. You know what I mean? So in order for you to dominate in that fashion, that shows you one thing. In order to dominate time of possession, that tells you one thing, that we had some success with running the ball. I look at it like this. It's like I say, the steps that we capitalized on opportunities that I said that was hurting us over the season. So I look at that as a win. Now we all know it's all about longevity. Can we build this momentum off of that game and carry that into our next few games? That's going to be the biggest question. But then, like I said too, like I see that I look at the team stats, right? We had 304 total yards and New England had 156 total yards. But you got to think about this. For one, you going up against a team, New England, who was having a hard time scoring just like us. So I don't really necessarily look at that as a win because you're dealing with a team that they're still trying to find their identity as well after life after Brady, just like us with life after Breeze. You know what I mean? And thank God in our situation, we got a quarterback is Carr, regardless of how you guys may feel about him. Some of y'all might be fans of Carr. Some of y'all might not be fans of Carr. But at the end of the day, you got to say one thing. If you look at New England situation and you look at the Saints situation, quarterback-wise, you favoring the Saints. You see what I'm saying? So we dominated. So us dominating them, I like it. But I just can't be excited because I know when we have to play a team that has a little bit more firepower offensively and a team who actually has somewhat of a pretty decent defense that can kind of consistently keep getting us off the field, it can switch to a whole different situation. But then, like I said, one thing that hurt us as well was penalties. We had 12 penalties compared to New England's 5 penalties, and our penalty yards resulted in 86 opposed to their 30. So it was constant penalties. I seen we had I think Olave had a false start. It was another, I think, receiver that might have had a first start. So we kind of had a couple careless penalties. But like I say, we was just dealing with a battered team. Defensively, man, you look at what they didn't have defensively. Matthew Judon. I think Jonathan Jones came back this last game, but it was the other little cornerback they had, number 25, who's real fast, real athletic. He's hurt. It's just been a lot of battles they've been fighting, man, injury-wise and just dealing with the whole Mac Jones situation, just trying to kind of, like I said, discover an identity from it. So I pretty much figured that something like that could happen. Now, granted, I didn't think that we was going to get a shutout. Honestly, I just didn't see that happening. But, you know, it speaks volumes still to us to a degree, because you got to understand one thing. Regardless of the Patriots' rankings in the NFL, they're still a professional football team. So you deserve some credit if you're able to stop a professional offense from, you know, scoring the ball. You know what I mean? But then, like I say, I approached it like this. I looked at, like, I put down all of our possessions. So we had, well, I had stopped watching it. I want to say probably like 6 minutes in the fourth, 7 minutes in the fourth. Like pretty much after they benched Mac Jones, I kind of had pretty much stopped watching it. So when I stopped, at that point, I think we had 9 possessions. So first possession, we come out, we punt the ball. Second possession, punt the ball. They wasn't 3 and outs, but we had to punt the ball. Third possession, we get a touchdown. The fourth possession, we get a touchdown. Fifth possession, we punt the ball. Sixth possession, we get a field goal. Seventh possession, we punt the ball. Eighth possession, we punt the ball. Ninth possession, we get a touchdown. Now, shout out, I'm glad I just not thought about this. Shout out, now I will say, I like how Pete Carmichael, you know, he took a little juice from the Andy Reid Kansas City books with the little shuffle pass, like he ran a tight end. Like they was going this way and they just passed the ball. Like I said, as soon as I seen that's the first thing that came to mind was Kansas City, because I said they like to utilize that play. But that's the creativity that we need going forward. Like I say, we need all the good points that I've pointed out from this game. We need to implement that all going forward. Like that's it. We need to establish a run game early. And we need to be able to build momentum off of that, because when you're actually able to run the ball consistently, it allows you to have a certain type of control, because then you can control the narrative. You can control the direction of the game. But if you can't run the ball, even if you are able to jump up early on, say you go up 21-0, but you're not able to constantly run the ball, you're constantly only you're having to pass and stuff like that. It's constantly stopping the clock if you're trying to stay on top, because obviously in the NFL, like even going into the halftime, when we have them down 21-0, I never in my mind was like, okay, this game over with. I still was like, I've seen this stuff happen several times, man, just like that. The momentum can switch, and you know, some teams never able to garnish it back after that. You know what I mean? So I was, you know, kind of a little uneasy on that. But, you know, once I pretty much seen that it was over with, that we had that game won, I was very happy about it. But like I said, I'm going to do a thing now called weekly, you know, hot seats. And I know I was seeing analysts saying something about Pete Carmichael. They was like, well, Pete Carmichael, you know, he's been facing a lot of backlash, and I feel like he shut up a lot. No, you did. Because it's a battered defense. I'm sorry. If Saints fans, I'm sorry if I'm being to some of you guys, if I'm being a Debbie Downer, or if I'm, you know, being negative, but I'm just being honest with the situation, guys. We got to be honest. We can't live in a false world, because we know that the teams are gonna get harder than New England is. So we can't just look at that and think and jump so high that our head touch the roof. We got to understand, okay, are we going to take these bad little parts, these little small little parts like this, and we're going to implement them. And then I want to do something too. I want to shout out to the running back Miller that came from TCU. I seen they put the ball in that man's hands a couple times. He made some plays. You know, he really did. So, you know, I like the contribution he brought. Alontae Taylor, I love what he brings to the game as far as the fire, the edge, the competitiveness. You know, like putting him in that slot, it almost reminds me of how it was when we had Chelsea Gardner-Johnson. You know, just that person that's just gonna compete, and it's just that energy that he brings that I have a lot of respect for. And also Shaheed too, man. Like I got a lot of admiration for that guy, man. Like just the way he played the game, because it's like it's passion. And I can respect passion from one passionate man to another passionate man. I can respect the when he's clapping the ball and when he get mad because he wanted to break it. You know what I mean? I really, you know, like that. I think going forward we can do a lot more things offensively, incorporating him. You know, but I'm not gonna jump the gun. Was it Olave got his first touchdown of the season? Michael Thomas had some pretty good catches. Shout out to him hanging on that ball after the old boy clubbered him, because he did put a pretty good lick on him. But that was pretty much it, man. I didn't really want to go too deep into it, just because, like I said, we was dealing with the team that we're dealing with, and I'm not trying to downplay our victory. We won. I'm happy. I'm excited that this is a Sunday, and I'm not, what we gonna do? But I still see the things that we gotta get better on, and we gotta move forward with that. So, man, if it was some things that I missed, man, like I say, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments. And I got another question for you guys too, because this week I'm gonna make a video about that. How do you guys feel about Carr? Realistically, let's be honest. Do you want Carr as our quarterback leading us going forward, or do y'all really think we should say scratch Carr and bring Jameis Winston in? Like, I really want to know that. You know what I mean? So let me know that down in the comments. But I'm gonna make a video on that coming up this week. But man, like I said, you guys, like I always say, if you guys enjoyed the video, man, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're new, when you subscribe, click the post notification bell. Also, if you enjoyed the video, man, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. And I'll see you guys in the next episode of Raw Sports Center. Peace.